Hey, what's going on, everybody, or whoever's watching for the first time? This is the very first episode of Open Tab News. As you can see, the Twitch is up. So anyways, we're gonna start right off. So this is a news show that I'm starting to try out. This will be the very first episode. I made a quick little scene for it. Please shoot me any messages, whether it's through here or through DM or through Twitter, for things that you would like to see. If there's articles you would like to see, you can also submit them through chat, stuff like that. So right now, that's really all that's going on. We're going to do the first episode. We're going to go through the daily news shows or daily news articles, gaming, movies, just things like that. But this is really a test run. This is only the first episode. So give it a shot, see how it works out. And hopefully I'll be exporting these to video on demand as well. I don't think I'm going to do much editing on anything. So let's start off right now. So the first article that we have today, by the way, hey everybody, is Dragonball Xenoverse 2 has been announced. This article comes from Kotaku by the author Jason Schreller. It's basically just a press announcement, but it is cool news. It is something that I'm actually pretty stoked about. From Santa Clara, California, Bandai Namco Entertainment America, the premier publisher of anime video games today, announces Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the most expansive Dragon Ball video game experience to date. This is called DBZX2, is currently in development. As famed Osaka, Japan-based video game developer Dimps will be available for the PlayStation 4, Computer Entertainment System, Xbox One, and Steam. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is scheduled to launch in America in 2016. What is up, pizza? What's going on? So this is cool news. For those of you that didn't play the first Dragon Ball Xenoverse, I thought it was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was expansive, had good RPG elements. I'm really excited to see what they do with this one. I hope they add in a lot of features that I felt like were kind of missing. And I'm not a huge DBZ fan, so it's not like I was just dying for another Dragon Ball Z game. I've actually never even seen the whole show, but I thought the game was very well made. So I'm excited that they're doing another one. I'm excited there's going to be more to it. There's a trailer here on the Kotaku link, which as I read the stories, I will try to link them real quick into chat for you guys so you can read them too. That's the first one. So I just think it's a good story. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's exciting that it's coming out this year, which is pretty quick. The last one hasn't been out that long. I think it's been out a little bit over a year. There's more in the press announcement right there saying that they're going to talk about it more at their E3 event, June 14th through the 16th, in their demo theaters, which I'm sure we're going to get gameplay and we'll get a lot more information on it. The trailer shows a little bit, but doesn't show too much. I think they need to add certain features, like when you go Super Saiyan, your hair should shift. That always bothered me. You'd pick like your hair and it wouldn't shift. So that's cool. I think it's cool that we're getting game announcements quicker to their actual release date rather than announcing a game like 4 years before it comes out and we all forget about it. So this is coming out this year, 2016. I'll be streaming it, so I'm excited for it to launch. On to the next one. This one I'm actually the most excited to talk about because I have some opinions on this one. I'm going to link it for you right now. Boom. So, IGN reports that Nintendo President NX is not the successor to the Wii U nor the 3DS. This article is written by Joe Screbbles, who... Oh, no, different guy. He says Nintendo's president Tatsumi Kimishima has reiterated that the Nintendo NX is an entirely new console for Nintendo. It will not follow the conventions of the company's currently released hardware. Speaking in the same interview that revealed Nintendo is considering entering the film business, he made clear that not only does the company see it as a brand new project, but one that will outperform the Wii U. He is quoted as saying the NX is neither the successor to the Wii U nor the 3DS, said Kimishima. As translated by NeoGAF user GSR, it's a new way of playing games, which I think will have a larger impact on the Wii U, but I don't feel it's a pure replacement for the Wii U. This is not the first time Nintendo has made this clear. Late President Satoru Iwata hinted at the new direction for the company last year, saying, quote, if you only expand upon existing hardware, it's dull. It's some shape or form. We're always thinking about how we want to surprise players as well as desire to change person's video gaming life. What I take from this is I just think it's more speculation, and I think mobile is still the truth for this thing. I think that's what they're hinting at, is that it's going to have a mobile feature. I might be wrong. I've been following the NX pretty closely. So that's my ultimate guess for it, is that it's going to end up being some sort of hybrid between mobile and console based. Um, I just can't otherwise. I think that if they're just using wordplay, then if it's not going to be that, they're just trying to distance themselves from the Wii U as much as they possibly can. Which, to be honest, I don't blame them. It didn't sell very well. It's not what you'd consider a powerhouse system in which you want to build your platform on. Um, Otherwise, it could just be a straight console. The rumor is it's more powerful than the PS4 and it's more powerful than the Xbox One, which makes sense because it's coming out much later in the development cycle. Um, when it comes to the NX, it's really just going to boil down to, can it get third-party support? Are we going to get Call of Duties on it? Are we going to get Battlefields? Are we going to get these larger titles that we're accustomed to getting on our other platforms such as Xbox and PS4? That's still out there to see. I mean, Nintendo's got the strongest first-party staple of any studio. It just does. I mean, between Mario, Zelda, Metroid, they have money. They'll always have a way of making that income back pretty clearly, pretty concisely. So the NX is kind of make or break for them. I feel like this console, if this console fails, we won't have another one. I just don't see Nintendo wasting the money again. I see them finally biting the bullet and deciding to move forward with putting their games on Xboxes and PS4s, which I feel like they should be doing now anyway. I'm not that pumped for the NX. If it truly is different and it's not a successor to their standard console, and it's another gimmick thing like motion control was for the original Wii or the gamepad is for the Wii U, I'm not interested. I'm not buying. So we'll see how that works out for them. Maybe what they mean by it's a new way of playing games is that they're going to go to the way everybody else plays games. They're going to abandon their gimmicks and just decide, like, it's a new way for Nintendo to play games. But it's weird because they said it's not going to be at E3. That they're kind of abandoning that. They're not going to go for it. It's releasing next March. They push back Zelda, but Zelda will be playable at E3. And that's really all we've been told. So very interesting stuff, though, because they're really trying to let you know that it's a whole new direction of playing games, which with Nintendo honestly scares me. That kind of honestly terrifies me because the Wii and the Wii U were definitely not for me, if you know what I mean. Okay, on to the third article. This one's kind of a sad article for a lot of people. Let me get this link to you guys. So, this article is about Disney Infinity. This is written from Giant Bomb by Austin Walker. Basically, if you haven't heard, they will be closing Avalanche Software and laying off close to 300 employees because Disney is officially canceling Infinity. Ends game publishing division. So they're just not publishing games anymore, which I understand. I think Disney is on top of the pyramid in so many metrics between Marvel, ESPN, and Star Wars that they look at gaming, and I feel like Infinity was probably making money. I feel like it was probably successful with how we judge gaming. Like, I don't think it was losing money. But I think for Disney, it wasn't making bukus of money. And if it's not making bukus of money like their Marvel property is and like Star Wars is, it's not lucrative enough for them. So they're being intelligent and being like, we're just going to give it to somebody else. We're going to license out our games. We're going to give Spider-Man to a great developer like Sucker Punch or someone like that. We're going to let someone like Rocksteady take on a Marvel character. Or we're going to let EA make our shooters instead of self-publishing, which they're already kind of doing with Star Wars, but it sucks for 300 people that lose their jobs, and it's hard for the Toys to Life market because this is one of their staple games. I mean, you have Lego Dimensions, Infinity, and I think Skylanders is probably the big three. But anyways, the article states the Toys to Life market has one less major player today, and unfortunately that also means that hundreds of employees have lost their jobs. In a blog post made this afternoon, Avalanche Software's John Blackburn announced that Disney would be discontinuing Disney Infinity in June. Additional information emerging from earnings report that investors call indicates that Disney will be closing developer Avalanche Software. According to the Wall Street Journal's Ben Fritz, this will result in the release of nearly 300 employees. The earnings report is understandably filled with lots of business jargon that makes it hard to follow. I'm not an expert, but I'll try to break it down as best I can. Basically, what it says in bullet points is Disney is going to lose $147 million. So, so it's like they're going to be losing a good bit of money on this game by canceling it as well. So they understand that this is going to be a hard transition and it's not going to be the best thing for them to do. But it's interesting. Like, I think it's a good idea for them. Let's see. Silent has sent me an article that he would like to look at. So give me one sec. Yeah. He just sent me the release dates for all confirmed 2016. We can do that if you guys want to. I can run through all the games that are coming out. I was gonna do that kind of like an E3 special. But yeah, they're gonna lose $147 million. Which is rough. There's a lot of money that they're gonna shit away, but they have to purge that business. Which, once again, I'm not an investor. I'm not a business expert. The infinity charge is primarily due to inventory write-down. Basically, the assets that it's taking to make those products, they guessed how much money they were going to make, and they're going to have to shrink that inventory down, and that's where the majority of the $147 million is coming from. And then more business jargon. The report also notes the charge includes severance and other assets impairments. Just another reason they're losing money. Basically, the long and short is that Disney is sitting on a ton of Infinity merchandise, just isn't worth the money that they thought it would be, leading the company to make a sharp exit from the game publishing market. Don't expect this to be the end of Marvel, Star Wars, and other Disney property games, though in a statement provided to GamesBeat, Disney confirmed that it will continue to license its many properties out to other developers and offered some additional perspective on their decision to cancel future Infinity products. So yeah, like I said before, they're going to license their game out. They're going to continue to give us games. They're going to continue to give us stuff. It's just going to go through better developers, and I think that's a smart idea. Like, I've been a big proponent that Spider-Man should be made by Sucker Punch because they made Infamous and they make great games. So, hopefully this is good for gamers. Hopefully this means we're going to get better games made by more qualified developers. So, good news. Sucks for the 300 people that lost their jobs. That really does suck to go into work one day and basically you're out of work. We're not making games anymore. Next one is movie news. So I don't know how many of you watched the Assassin's Creed trailer. It was good, and I usually hate game movies. I thought it was gonna suck, but the Assassin's Creed trailer looked good. I picked this story because it seems pretty interesting. The Assassin's Creed movie will spend most of its time in the present day, a 65-35 split. That sucks, because after I saw the trailer, I was like so into it. I was like, holy crap, they're gonna get a video game movie right. It looks right. You had the eagle jump. You had the combat looking right. You had the parkour. Everything looked good. And then I saw this today, and I was like, well, that's a little weird, because the modern day stuff is arguably the worst part of Assassin's Creed, at least for me. I'm not a huge fan of the modern day part of Assassin's Creed. This article was written by Samit Sarkar for Polygon. It says the film adaptation of Assassin's Creed series is making many departures from the games, but one of the biggest is its setting. About 2/3 of the movie will take place in the present day, reports IGN. During a visit to an on-location shoot for Assassin's Creed outside Almeria, a Spanish city on the Mediterranean coast, IGN spoke with executive producer Pat Crowley, who said that only about 35% of the film will be set in the 15th century. The other 65% will focus on Callum Lynch, the 21st century convict whom Abstergo Industries uses for his DNA memories of the assassin ancestor Aguela. So that sucks. I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if you've seen the trailer. If you haven't, let me know and I'll link it. That kind of bums me out. I was really hoping that they would take a different approach and keep the game mostly in the 15th century during the Spanish Inquisition, so we get more of the parkour and the cool fighting and the swords and sandals and all that kind of stuff, and less goofy Abstergo science fiction technology. I'm not saying the movie will be bad. I haven't seen it yet, of course. But that really isn't what I wanted to hear. After seeing the trailer, the coolest parts of the trailer were in the 15th century, so I thought that's what the movie would be. You know, we'd have a very little bit of story in present day that sets up the movie, and then maybe as we get sequel movies, they get more into the present day with this character, Callum Lynch, I believe they said his name was. But I was wrong. Maybe it'll still be good. 35% good. At least we'll have some cool shit in the 15th century. So, we'll see. What else does it go on to say? A report from the set on Uniblog mentioned the filming of A Leap of Faith, one of the signature moves seen in the Assassin's Creed games. Director Justin Kurzel was reportedly adamant about doing real stunts and located shoots for the 15th century segments of the film, filming rooftop chase sequence in Malta, in addition to the action that was shot in Spain. He says, "Why do CGI when you can do it for real?" Kurzel told the UB blog. "It's a guy out there for the first time. It's the highest jump he's ever done, and that's what's in the film. It's the extra bit of human risk and endeavor that makes it actually possible for a human to be an assassin." The movie will be coming out on December 21st. For more, check out the film's trailer, which debuted last week. So I just linked it to you guys. So if you go down, you can watch the trailer. It's linked at the bottom of that article. Let me know what you think about any of these too. I know there's not a ton of you. This is the first time we're doing it, but talk in the chat. Let me know if you want me to slow down or if there's anything you want to talk about more. This one. So we're going on next to Game Informer. Game Informer. Xbox Live Gold pricing going up in 6 countries, tripling in South Africa. This is a really quick article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just, I think it's interesting that Xbox Live is raising their price, and I think that it's a little crazy that people are getting as bent out of shape as they are about it. It's not me as like an elitist. There's cost. I mean, it costs money to run an infrastructure as strong as Xbox Live, and especially in some of these countries that I'm sure it's even harder to run a proper infrastructure. The main countries that it lists are Hungary, Israel, Sweden, and Turkey. And then as well as South Africa. I don't think all the information's in. It says affected territories include Austria, Hungary, Israel, South Africa, Sweden, and Turkey. So those are the main ones. So if you live in any of those, your Xbox Live is probably going up. But just something interesting I thought you guys might want to read. See if even if you're not affected, I think it's just a good business thing that people should know that we still pay $60 for games, and people get really pissy about that, especially with the free-to-play model coming out. But keep in mind, we paid $60 for N64 games, which with inflation are more like $80 or $90. So with inflation, game cost has actually gone down. How much we pay for our AAA games has shrunk through time because inflation's gone up. So games are as cheap as they've ever been in reality. I know it doesn't feel that way with a crumbling economy and so on and so forth, but in reality, a $60 game is about as cheap as it's ever been. So same with Xbox Live. When we first started paying for it, infrastructure was smaller, there was less people on it, there was less features on it. So as Xbox Live gets larger, the price gets larger, we got to pay more if you live in certain territories because there's not as much infrastructure, or it's harder to run it there with the latency that you want in order to get smooth service. So that is that. I just wanted to link it for you guys so you could read about it, or you could make your own decision if Microsoft's just being money hungry or if it's actually a legitimate thing to do and you just understand why they're doing it. Also, I really want that controller. Like, I'm a huge fan of this white controller with the goddamn gold D-pad. I can't remember if that's like the day one edition or something, but I want it. I want it with the black buttons. Last article, just something fun to end up the day. I thought it was really cool, and I'm a fan of Kojima. This article comes from Polygon as well. I don't have any bias towards any news outlets. I just grab them where I find them. Oh, boop, boop. That was the Game Informer one. This is the Polygon one. So, bam. This states Hideo Kojima reveals the character behind the new Kojima Productions logo. So for those of you that don't know, Kojima left Konami right near the tail end of the production of Metal Gear Solid 5. He went on to form his own company, which will be a first-party developer, or I guess you'd call it a second-party developer, for Metal Gear, or for PlayStation. So he revealed a cool logo. You can kind of see it in the background in that picture right here. It's like a skull inside of a helmet, and he had people guess on what he thought it would be. He told them there was a body and armor and everything, and people had to guess, and this is what it ended up being. It's in a spacesuit, which was not at all what people guessed. People originally guessed it'd be in like medieval armor, but you can see the skull inside the spacesuit. It's actually pretty cool if you look really closely. You'll see it right there, that blue skull. I think it's a badass logo. Like, I dig everything about it. The gold. I guess it's just a character. I don't know if he's going to be in the game. It says, once again, to give credit, this article was written by Michael McWhirter. When Hideo Kojima revealed his venture, the new Kojima Productions, last year, he announced the reformed studio with a black and white logo that featured an armored skull-faced being. Today, Kojima reveals the full mascot behind the logo. He's called Ludens, and he appears to be a futuristic explorer of new worlds. Kojima offered the first full-body look at Ludens on Twitter today, describing him as the icon of Kojima Productions. Ludens, Kojima said, wears an extra-vehicular activity creative suit, or EVA. Though the official artwork actually reads an extra-vehicular creative activity suit, and he's seen holding a Kojima Productions flag. He says we'll deliver the new play in the new future with cutting-edge equipment, technology, and the frontier spirit. Kojima said of his new studio's ambitions on Twitter, here's a larger look at Ludens. So we don't even know anything about the game yet. It just says the Reborn Kojima Productions' first title will be a new franchise and a PlayStation 4 console exclusive. Kojima and Sony announced last year. Kojima has said that his ambitions for Kojima Productions go beyond just making games. I loved Metal Gear Solid 5. I thought it was an amazing game. I thought it was a masterpiece in gameplay and gameplay mechanic loop. So I'm really excited to see what Kojima does. Even though it'll be on PlayStation, I predominantly play on Xbox, I will be playing this game. I just love the look of that guy. I just think it's a badass logo. I think it's a really cool helmet, really uniquely designed. So, excited to see what he does. I really am. I'm really stoked to see what he pulls out of his hat for this one. So that's it. We just did, quick 6 news stories. I might have more next time. All that kind of stuff. I just want to test out this format of doing a news show where we talk about the news. Once we get more viewers in, we'll have more viewer interaction. But I appreciate you guys being here and bearing with me and all that fun stuff. Feel free to shoot me anything you'd like me to read. All that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to save Silence article that he just sent, which is the